with Jim Parsons. I grew up in New Hampshire. The play takes place in fictional Grover's Corner, not real.
Yeah.
But you actually, I guess there's 28 of you in this ensemble.
Yep.
And you took a bus up to New Hampshire.
Yeah, we did. The first day. Well, in Peterborough, there's the MacDowell Institute, or whatever it's called, where writers go. And a lot of very well-known writers have written a lot of things there. They have little cabins they can be in. And he wrote, Thornton did, part of Our Town there, and based Grover's Corners on Peterborough. So we did. We had never met each other, all 28 of us, and we got in these two buses that day and drove 5 hours from Manhattan.
There's no fast way to get to New Hampshire.
No, there's not. Yeah. And then 5 hours back. So that part was harrowing for those of us who get car sick. But I brought a pillow and I leaned against the window. But the Peterborough part was charming.
And did you feel like it was more research or more team building?
Team building. Yeah. If I'm being frank about, I mean, it was interesting because I had already started working on memorizing like the description of the town, which is as the narrator part of what I do, and I was like, oh, this is really what this is. There's Main Street, there's the mountain that's what we like to look at, whatever. I'm like, wow, this is cool. So that was helpful, but mostly it was, I think we left at 7:30 in the morning. We had our day in Peterborough. We did our first reading in Peterborough. We landed in Manhattan at like 1:30 in the morning of the next day, and then had our first rehearsal later on. And I think everybody came in pretty beaten. And like, well, we've done our worst, so let's start rehearsing.
Did you feel like anybody was like, next time we should just like Google pictures?
I suggested that we would really have to find funding to charter a jet if we were going to do it again.
It's interesting, when you mentioned writer's cabin, do you ever that's like a dream of mine, to like just be given a cabin to like, where they're like, you have a month to live in this cabin.
Yeah, and they bring you your food.
Oh my God, they bring you your food? That kind of cabin?
Yes,
oh my God, tell me more.
Yeah. They
put chipmunks?
No. That's what. This is all I knew about Our Town. Was Spalding Gray played the stage manager of Our Town in the 80s, and I watched his one-man show on video when I was in college, Monster in a Box.
Yeah,
and he goes into talking about his experience with that. But he talks about, he wrote at the MacDowell Institute as well, and he refers to it as that. He's like, they deliver it quietly like little chipmunks leaving your food at the...
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you don't have to be disturbed. Whenever you're hungry, there's a muffin.
This is a show about sort of how fast life goes by, how delicate it is. And it does... I feel like these are the sort of good messages to ground us right now.
Completely.
Have you felt that as you've been working on it with you and your cast?
As we headed towards an election, which is just going to be tumultuous one way or the other, we did 2 shows on Wednesday after the Tuesday result came in. We had a matinee and an evening, and I was so grateful for it. It was a little trippy. Again, if you don't know the play, and I hope you get to come see it, and if you don't, I hope you get to read it, there's so many wonderful and profound thoughts in it, and they're so layered. And so whether it be an election or anything, depending on where you are, things sound different to you. And this one, he really loved his country very much. There's phrases in there just like, you'd be surprised though. Things don't change much around here. Just little things like that. You're like, okay, all right. But I'm so grateful to get to talk about, 'cause one of the big things in it, there's no set really, there's no props, and
you want them to charter a plane.
Well, they're not paying for sets or props. But the simplicity of that really seems to be because it's like, and this kind of goes with everything going on right now, it's like, it's here, it's real while we're here, whatever, but it's kind of all BS at the end of the day.
Well, I know that feeling certainly last week as well. Like, I felt like an incredible, I don't know, being in front of an audience was such a salve for the moment, right? Like, it just felt nicer to be with people. You have people very close to you on this production as well.
Yes.
Like, not only are there no props and no sets, but you have people just to the left, just to the right.
Yeah, audience.
Do you feel, has it been...
Well, no, they're on stage. I'm not making a joke. Yeah. I'm not being a jackass. Yeah, the audience.
Has it been, everybody been well behaved so far?
Yes. We did. Just this weekend we had one, and bless her heart, I think it was a woman. Somebody began coughing, and they're literally as close as I am to Seth right now. And but it was much louder and went on for so long, and I was like, she was all the way across the stage from me, but I was like, no one can hear anybody. I was like, she gets one more cough, and then I'm crossing the stage going, ma'am, you have to go off stage.
Yeah.
You have to get up and leave. But she got it together.
That's good.
Yeah.
It is always important. I mean, I want to believe the coughers feel worse than we feel.
I hope so, because there are times you're like, Are you even trying to stifle it?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes there are people who are like, I think they're like,
I think you're trying to
I got
infect
big
all of
plays
us.
tonight. I'm gonna go to a Broadway show. I'm gonna cough. I got a real good cough coming. I'm gonna do that.
I've scheduled alarms to go off on my phone during it. Yeah.
You haven't always, I mean, obviously, you've got a very long, successful career in this business. Not your first job was not acting. You worked for a fabric company.
I did.
What were you doing for a fabric company?
Very little.
Okay.
Paperwork, manning the desk.
So they didn't let you near the fabric, it sounds like.
They'd let me touch it.
Oh, that's nice.
They weren't scared of me. I just was not very helpful to them. They were they're sweet sisters, the Able sisters. And
where was it?
In Soho.
Okay.
I think it was on Elizabeth Street.
Okay.
I can't remember. And I worked there for maybe a year, maybe a little less. And it was nice. I manned the shops several days a week. And it wasn't like a high traffic situation. So like I got auditions ready in there.
And did they, were they someone, obviously they were aware that you were an actor.
Yeah.
Were they ever aware of success you found after leaving?
I've never talked to them again.
Okay.
So thank you. If I've not said so in the past 17 years, thank you.
That's gonna mean the world to them.
I'm sure.
That's gonna mean the world to them. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you again. You guys, this is Jim Parsons, Our Town. It's playing on Broadway at the Barrymore Theater. We'll be right back with Wendy McClendon.